How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Well, another 300 plus score in Karachi in the Champions Trophy, another centurion in this tournament. It's been 3 days, we've had 5 now. The latest edition is South Africa's Ryan Rickelton. Great story, and we'll bring up that innings as well as what is an impressive all-round batting effort by South Africa at halftime against Afghanistan on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday. Wasim Jaffer is still with me, as is Aaron Finch, who's going to log in from Lahore. Let's talk about that effort from South Africa. It's an impressive batting effort, Wasim.
It is. I thought they played really well. Like we've spoken about, that a guy from the top getting 100 always helps make you post 300 plus scores. Even 350s from the middle order. Didn't look like a very solid batting wicket, but I thought Afghanistan helped. Didn't bowl as well as I thought they will. The spinners didn't pose as much trouble as we talked about. But you got to give credit to South Africa how well they batted.
You're saying it doesn't look like as good a wicket. That means that this score is even more impressive. 3-1.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I think in the chasing in the second half, probably their fast bowlers, Rabada, Jansen, I think they'll pose a lot more problems than what Afghanistan bowlers did.
Yeah, I think I remember in the opening game as well, Finchy, at this ground where Will Young, after getting 100, still said it wasn't easy. It was still sticking a little bit. And give me your assessment and therefore what this score looks like at halftime.
Yeah, I think it's a score that'll probably be too big for Afghanistan. We saw the ball spinning from the start. So for me, it was just about a lack of intent with the ball, I think, and then some sloppy fielding as well. So all round, South Africa batted very, very well, but it would be too many runs in my opinion.
Let's talk Ryan Rickelton and what impressed both these opening batters with me on the show about South Africa's latest sensation, if we can call him that. Finchy, you first.
His tempo looked really good. He was aggressive from the start, and he looked really comfortable against both spinners as well. I mean, all 3 spinners when they went to Nabi early, then Rashid and Noor. But he played it with ease. He looked as though he went through the gears really well as a batter, and it wasn't the type of innings where you get away in the power play and then you can sort of stall a little bit because you rein it in too much. Once you start getting going through those middle overs, you tend to be a little bit defensive minded sometimes. But he got his tempo absolutely superb, and overall really high quality knock. And unfortunate to get out the way he did, actually, because I think that he could have really accelerated and gone extra big towards the back end.
Wasim, your thoughts on Rickelton?
Yeah, I think he looked very solid, very composed. I mean, being a top order batter, you would expect him to play fast bowling well, but I was really, pleasantly surprised how well he played spin, how well he negated Noor Ahmed and Rashid and kept on rotating the strike, and he has those boundary options, and particularly how well he played square of the wicket. So really impressive, somebody who's had a very good T20 tournament before, but to get this opportunity because of Klaasen didn't play, and to grab that opportunity with 100, really, really nice.
There's no leaving him out after this. They have to figure out who else makes way when Klaasen is fit and available.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's made sure that he's going to play this tournament.
Yeah, there's this conversation around Rickelton on him being the successor to Quinton de Kock. I don't know how much we enjoy these sorts of names and taglines and building players up to great players, but South Africa are looking for someone who can have that kind of impact. Is that a fitting comparison at this point, Finchy?
Well, I think the way he plays, he's definitely, being a left-hander and playing square of the wicket a lot like de Kock did, you can see the comparison. But you have to be careful labelling guys like some of the past legends. You think of Brevis, he was one that was baby AB, they were calling him for such a long time, and it puts a lot of pressure on young players. So he started off his career beautifully. He's got all the shots. He's got a really good game, and the young kids now that are growing up learning T20 cricket from such a young age to be able to bring that together with a really solid foundation of a technique goes a long way, and that's when you'll start to see guys really blossoming, particularly at the top of the order in these 50-over matches.
Were you ever compared with anyone or labelled with anyone?
Nah, I don't think so. Because I was playing for Mumbai and we had Sachin Tendulkar and all the other greats, so I was nowhere near close to them.
Finchy, anyone labelled you? They don't do that in Australia like we do here.
No, not quite. Maybe Darren Lehman, just with my body shape more than anything, but never anything compared with my batting.
All right, let's talk about the rest of the South African batting, shall we? Bavuma, solid again. He's the ODI specialist, doesn't make the T20 team, but Bavuma did his part, as did Aiden Markram later.
Yeah, I think that partnership actually, laid a solid foundation. That 120 plus partnership, allowed them to play the way the other guys played. Aiden Markram obviously, finished it really well. And then Rassi van der Dusen, I thought they played the spin really well. I think at the same time, I don't think Noor Ahmed and the other guys bowled as well as they should have. But you got to give credit to, how well they've rotated the strike, how they've managed to get boundaries on a tricky pitch especially.
So what's the story of the middle overs for you, Finchy? You agree with Wasim there, or are we looking at the middle order being comfortable because Afghanistan bowled poorly?
No, I think like Wasim said earlier, the wicket wasn't a true flat road that you can just load up in the middle order. So the one thing that I look for when new batters come to the crease is their ability to get off strike early and not face 2, 3, 4, 5 dot balls in a row, and then start to build some pressure on the batter who's still in and starve them of the strike. So I think South Africa do that really well as well. They can just maintain the momentum of the innings. That they never really let it stall. And I mean, when Van der Dusen comes in and just continues on his way, and then Aiden Markram, it just makes it easier for the in batter to stay in as well. It just doesn't allow them to get starved of the strike.
They had to counter the Rashid Khan threat. How did you sense they managed to get the better of him? None for 59 is good result against Rashid Khan.
I mean, that's how you play Rashid. If you don't give him wickets, we talked about in the pre-show, that if Rashid doesn't pick wickets, then all the other bowlers are under pressure. And I thought they played him really, really well. The way they picked his deliveries, his googlies and all, because obviously they play him so much in the leagues, I thought they played him really well.
Mohammad Nabi was the one positive in all this. He's taken a couple of U-turns on whether he's going to play after the Champions Trophy in ODIs at least or not. But he still looks good enough to play. The only one bowler who really troubled them.
Yeah, he did. He's a wily old customer. Knows how to operate, and he's got armories in his bag. The way he bowls, the way he operates. Got the breakthrough at the first wicket. And again, experience shows the way he bowled and the way he adjusts himself to the different wickets and all that.
I think he's about 3 years older than you, Finchy, and he harbors hopes of playing with his son, who's of course played for under-19s, and maybe that's why he wants to go on.
Yeah, that'll be a great story, and I guess when you start to get later in your career, you need small things like that to keep you motivated, and that would be a great story. I think his son's 18 now. Might be a little bit more difficult for me. My daughter's only 3, so that's a little bit far away.
All right, let's go to the second innings. Now, Finchy, I think you said in our pre-show, didn't you, that they're not the team that chases 320s, 330s, 316. How this pitch plays in the second innings, you saw that closely in the opening game. What's their best chance, Afghanistan?
Oh, they have to get off to a good start. They have to be really aggressive against the new ball. And again, it's such a fine balance, because you need to try and get ahead of the run rate, because through the middle overs, Maharaj will be really difficult to get away. So then you've got Rabada and Jansen, guys that I expect them to bowl a lot of cutters through the middle especially as well, and really squeeze the Afghanistan batters. So the first 10 overs is crucial. They need to try and be around that 65, 70 mark, and then hopefully maintain it right throughout. But we saw the other night, Pakistan just had zero intent with the bat, chasing 320, and they were 22 for 2 after 10 overs, so they just can't afford to let that happen. I think in a situation like this, you'd probably rather be one extra wicket down, but right up on the run rate or well ahead of the run rate, because it can be really difficult to get that back. They expected a lot of dew the other night, and zero came. I expect it to be similar again. It'll be dry and spinning, but I think South Africa have got enough.
All right, Wasim, just have a look at Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran. It's the back of the strength of the opening pair that they did so well in the ODI World Cup too. Let's just look at their numbers, shall we? Averaging 56 as an opening pair in ODIs over the last couple of years. There's 250s and there's 100 plus partnership in that more often than not. Best of 256. Now, admittedly, they've played Zimbabwe and Ireland with due respect to those oppositions, but these two...
they're they're quality players and they've opened together. Obviously, we spoke that Ibrahim is playing after eight months or probably more, so he hasn't had much of a game time. Gurbaz needs a big score. I mean, if those two guys play the new ball well, they have got in them to get 100 and set the platform, which you need when you chase 316. So I think the best chance is if they play the new ball well and then take it from there.
Yeah, Finchie's point so much more important now. They might show us how to approach this target in many ways. Still a huge talking point on how Pakistan started that chase the other night against New Zealand. You expect these two to go hard, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, if they don't lose, more than one wicket in the power play, they've got the batting, they've got the guys who can, rotate the strike, get the odd boundary in. The intent is so much important in that middle overs, and I think if they've got wickets in hand, they've got batting right till number 9 where Rashid bats. So they've got, but you don't want to expose them too early.
I can see what Wasim's doing, Finchie, because he did say Afghanistan before the game, so he's trying to set up scenarios where it might work. Wasim, are you sticking to that pre-match prediction?
Well, I'm not going to leave my team in halfway, so I'm going to,
Wow. You think they're going to chase 316? That'll make for a proper game if they get anywhere close to this, Finchie. They've got enough. You said it's going to be an easy win for South Africa?
No, not easy. There's some quality players right throughout that order. There's enough experience, and I mean the guys at the top, they've shown a real strong partnership, and that's what you need, that foundation. So it won't be an easy win by any stretch, but I think a 28-run win to South Africa, they've just got enough.
All right. Well, just as we spend some time on the South African bowling resources and trying to keep an eye out on what they have to offer, they've gone in with just the one spinner today, and we did see with no dew, you can actually bring the spinners in. That's how New Zealand operated. You see Makram and Maharaj having a big role to play, or is this going to be majorly about South Africa's quicks?
I think, the fast bowlers will have more say. Afghanistan batters will be more than happy to face Makram and Maharaj. They'll probably have a little bit more answers. Maharaj obviously is a top-class bowler, so it won't be easy. But the threat will be Marco Jansen and Rabada for them.
What's the key to bowling accurately? And I think New Zealand gave us some indication of it, Finchie. But what are good bowling plans to have in these conditions?
In these conditions, I think you've got more margin for error slightly on the shorter side because there is a little bit of variable bounce. The one place that you don't want to start getting too often is overly full. That's a bit different with a brand new ball if it's swinging for Rabada and Marco Jansen, but particularly through the middle overs, you can bring your length back slightly and just focus on crashing into the wicket, maybe cross seam, maybe some slight cutters, and just stay away from over pitching. It's just an easy swing through the line for the modern day player, and generally with mid on and mid off up inside the circle, which it really simplifies your plans now. You'll have your 2 out square of the wicket, and you can just be really simple and make them try and hit it over somebody if they want to take a risk.
You got Rabada, you got Ngidi, you got Marco Jansen. New ball to be taken by Finchie. You first.
Jansen and Ngidi, I think it'll be tempting to give it to Rabada, but I think Ngidi, his best work can be done with the brand new ball. He's accurate. He can get some slight movement, particularly back into the right-hander. So that's a really valuable asset.
Wasim?
I'll probably go with Rabada and Marco Jansen.
All right. Well, we'll see how this game evolves. Thank you very much, Wasim Jaffer, as well as Aaron Finch. It's still divided. Wasim thinks we could still get an Afghanistan win. We haven't had a close game. Yeah. We need a close game in this tournament, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, hopefully Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Afghanistan to have a better batting effort.
Or are we saving that for Australia, Afghanistan, maybe? The close game.
No,
really
thank you.
dramatic
No.
All right, let's see how this goes. Wasim, Finchie pick up the chat at the end of the game where one of South Africa, Afghanistan would have picked up their first points. Join us for post-match analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Match Day.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.